So I lost you guys, Eva and Pink. I'm not sure where everyone else is. Um, I don't know what happened there. I was talking so much and I lost you guys. Hopefully everyone else will join us again. Um, Shuggy's back. Okay. You know, whenever I turn sideways, who knows what's going to happen? Live TV. So we are going to, let's just review what I just said, because I don't know when this turned off as I was looking this way. You're going to hinge your hips back, go as low as it's comfortable for you, keeping your head up, push through your heels, stand all the way up and contract your glutes. I'm going to do it with my weights. I'm going to do 10 reps. And you start off from a nice tall position, hinge your hips back, go as low as it's comfortable for you, push through your heels, contract your glutes. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And lost where I was. Last set of chest press. So band around your arms, slight bend in your knee, push forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And last set of squats. Stand up nice and tall. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And we're going to move right on. We're going to do bent over rows with your weights. So remember, standing up nice and tall. You're going to bend at the knee. You're going to bend forward a little bit. I think my back, if I'm seeing it correctly, is maybe about 45 degrees. Belly button pulled in. I'm looking on a diagonal. So my head is in line with my spine. I'm keeping my belly button in and my back is neutral. Pull your elbows up. Keep them close to your body. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And stand up and let's do single leg deadlifts. We haven't done these in a while. So I'm holding the weight on the outside hand. I'm holding onto the chair lightly for stability. I'm gonna go to parallel. However, if that's uncomfortable for you, maybe 45 degrees, whatever is comfortable, but your body's still nice and straight, and the leg that's going back, try to keep it straight, no bent leg. So 10 per side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And switch the weight to the other side and turn around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And let's do our last set of bent over rows. Bend at the knee, at the hip, neutral spine, belly button pulled in. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And our last set of single leg deadlifts. Holding on lightly for stability. Start off nice and tall. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And switch to the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And let me check in. I'm going to get some water and you get some water too. Who else joined us? Nora is back also. So, I think, let's see. We are moving on. So, we've been doing this for the past few weeks. I introduced this to my, let's see who else. Thank you. I introduced this a few weeks ago. I introduced this to my in-person class yesterday. We hadn't done it and a lot of people were away for the summer, so I had a giant class yesterday. So we're doing bicep curls, keeping your elbows locked at your side, and you turn your hands around and overhead press. So if you have shoulder issues, the overhead press may not be a good exercise for you. I'm going to leave that to your judgment. If you have pain or discomfort, you could do you could do one set of just bicep curls and then the other set of external rotations for your shoulders. However, we're marching at the same time, and it's really a cognitive exercise because, you know, when you alternate biceps and marching, it's easy. But when you're doing something upper body and lower body that doesn't really connect to each other, you really have to think about what you're doing. So 10 reps, and we're going to go nice and slow. So start 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. I have to really think about when I'm doing it. So with this, we're going to do calf raises and heel rocks, working on strength in our shins, our anterior tibialis or tibialis anterior, depending on who you talk to, our calves, our ankles, our feet. So you're going to hold on lightly for stability and roll up on your toes and rock back on your heels. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So let's go back to our biceps overhead. Remember to switch to either biceps or external rotations if you didn't do the overhead press. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay. So last set of bicep, calf raises and heel rocks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And we're gonna do a calf stretch in a minute, because we're gonna do one more calf raise that I want to add to our class. So there are 2 parts to your calves. The bigger part up here is your gastroc, and lower is your soleus, and we're going to do a little soleus work. So I'm going to hold on to the wall because I need a little bit more stability. So you could do it on a counter or the wall. So you're going to start off with your feet, your heels up. And then what you're going to do is bend your knees, and your heels are not touching down. So hopefully you can see me from the side. I'm on my toes, and I'm bending and up. All right. So we're going to work on this over the next few weeks. So let's do 10. 1, your heels do not go down. 2, keep your knees bent. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And I can really feel it in the lower part of my knee, my calf rather. So let's do first a nice straight leg calf. Your foot is flexed. If you can reach it, just pull it towards your face. And now to get the lower part stretched, just keep your foot flexed like that, and just bend your knee slightly so it leaves the fatigue in the lower part of your calf. It's not a big bend. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing. And legs straight out to start. So that's stretching the gastroc, the bigger part of your calf. Your foot is flexed. And now I'm just going to bend my knee slightly, and I get the lower part stretched. Our body's very complicated. All right. So we're going to do triceps. We're also going to do our lateral steps to work on our hips. So let's do our triceps first. Bent over rows, bent at the knee, bent at the hip, arms up. Your arms stay close to your body. They're not out here. neutral spine, everything like we did in the bent over rows. Just extend your arms back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And tie your TheraBand. Start with your feet about hip width apart, or a little, or even narrower. Tie the band so that there's a lot of tension. You don't want to tie it that you cut off your blood supply, but when you step out, there should be a lot of tension on it. So, making a nice bow. So what I'm going to do, my knees are going to be bent. I'm going to just bend slightly forward, and I'm going to step to the side for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. And depending on how tight you have that tied, you should really feel the work in your hips, your medial glutes. So last set of bent over rows, bend at the knee, the hip, arms up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And you know what? I can have this even a little tighter. I'm going to double this because it's pretty long. All right, so our last set. So the other thing I want you to do is actually look back at your toes to make sure you're not stepping oddly. I want your toes to be even as you step across. In my in-person class, we do it moving laterally for 10 and then laterally back. And I see people doing this. So please look at your feet to make sure that you're stepping evenly. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. And that's like having a girdle around my knees. So you could take this off, and we're done with that. So grab some water, because this next exercise I'm going to explain a little bit to you. Take a break. By the way, when we're taking a break, you're not sitting down. So I do this exercise for myself and with my clients. So we got new weights, heavier weights in our facility this past week. So I decided to try this because this works great with a little bit heavier weights. This is one of the reasons that I mentioned earlier that I wanted to know what kind of workout equipment, what weights you have, TheraBands, because I want to try, even though we're online, I want to advance you guys safely. So what we've been doing what I do for myself and with my clients, and what we did yesterday in my class, is a farmer's carry. So normally with my clients, we are actually walking, but we're just going to march in place for 30 seconds. So what I want you to think about is that you've read about planks. We're doing a walk-in plank. You're standing up tall. Your posture is perfect. Your belly button's pulled in. When you march, I want you to safely bring your knee up to at least knee height. If you need to lean against or stand next to a wall or a counter just in case you wobble a little bit, that's perfectly fine. And you're holding on to the weights. One of the things that this is good for, it builds forearm strength, the heavier the weight is, which increases grip strength, which is one of the things we lose as we age. So this is a great overall exercise. You feel your heart rate go up. You get a lot of core work and you're getting full body work just holding on to the extra resistance of the weight. So one of the things that I can't hear what you're doing, I can hear in my class, is that when we do this, you're not going to hear that. You're going to be able to control how you step. That's an important thing to do. So we're going to do 30 seconds and we're going to start now. And don't hold your breath, breathe, stand up nice and tall, belly button pulled in. Try to keep, if you can, get your knees up to your hip height. We have 10 seconds left. And my heart rate went up a little bit. I do this all the time, so it takes a lot, and it takes a lot heavier weight for me. These are 6 pounds. So walk around a little bit. I want to do that one more time. So this is actually the start of our core workout, our ab workout, or core, more than ab. So let's do that one more time. This helps with carrying groceries. By the way, your shoulders are back and down. You're not hiking, you're not leaning forward. Really paying attention to your posture. You should feel your quads fatigue a little bit, because every time you bring your knee up like this, we have 5 seconds, you're also working your quads, which we didn't do today. I just realized. So we just did them now. So grab your ball. We're going to do wood choppers. So your feet are nice and wide. You're staggered. I'm going to start on my right side, which is where my right leg is in front. I start over my shoulder. My belly button's pulled in, and I'm going to bring the ball down to my opposite hip with my head following the ball. 10 per side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And switch sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And actually, I'm keeping the ball. Let's sit. So sitting up nice and tall. I'm going to put the ball between your knees. And we're going to do rotations. Go into the side. Keeping your belly button nice and tight. Go to the range of motion that's comfortable for you, not what I'm doing. Your shoulders shouldn't be hiked up. And we're working on rotations. This is shoulder mobility also. And we're working some of the thin muscles that support our spine. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, keep pressure on the ball, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And now we're going to go overhead. Go to your range of motion. If you can't get all the way over, maybe you're just going up to by your ear with a slight twist, or you're doing the lateral ones again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And we're going to do a seated dead bug, 20 reps. So you'll get 10 per side. So the ball is behind you. We can do it without the ball, but I think it's harder with the ball. So a lot of pressure on the ball, sitting up nice and tall, arms out in front. I'm going to bring my right arm up and my left knee. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And I'm going to put the ball away. We're going, oh, actually, I'm sorry. We're going to do just roll back and roll forward. So nice and tight, arms hanging. You're just going to roll back, keeping your belly button in, and sit up nice and tall. We're going to do 10. This is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And then we're just going to roll forward from our shoulder blades, not our waist. So it's just a slight movement forward, keeping your belly button in and sitting up tall. So 1, 2, your head moves with your shoulders. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And let's stand up. We're going to do a tandem stance with our head moving left to right, holding next to something in case you need to hold on. This is a huge stand-in balance thing. And then we have the rotation that makes it even harder. So we're just going to do 5, and then we're going to switch feet. Have a focal point left to right that would help you. And if you need a fingertip to hold on, go ahead. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And switch feet. And 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That wasn't too bad today. It was bad yesterday in my class. So we're going to do a single leg stance. I want to count to 12 today. I want to try to bring up the numbers that we're doing with this. Remember, kickstand up and down if this is hard for you, because with the kickstand, you're basically on one foot all the time, but you're giving yourself a little bit of help. Or you could just do the kickstand. If both feet are not flat on the ground, you're not stable. So you're still doing a lot of single leg stance work, or holding on with one fingertip. So let's start off with a 12 count. Do your best. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And remember, practicing this on a tile floor or a wood floor next to something that you can hold on to is great. I'm not doing barefoot in here. Too many people walking around in dirty sneakers. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And let's stretch. So, sitting down. Feels good to sit down. One leg out. Your foot is really flexed. Let me move back a little bit. Your foot is really flexed. Pull towards, if you could pull your toes, if you could reach your toes, pull it towards your face. My arms are super long, so I'm always going to be able to do this. We're stretching our calves and our hamstrings. And switch to the other leg. We're just doing a few deep breaths for each hold. So we are now stretching our hips. So cross over, just pull gently on the outside of your hip, outside of your knee. And switch to figure four. Leaning forward, pressing gently on the inside of your knee. And switch over. And switch to figure four. So let's do our lower back. I'm turning this way because I want to make sure that when you do this, you're not rounding your back. If you notice, my back is still neutral. You could reach your arms out in front of you to extend that stretch a little bit, but you're not rounding your back or arching it. It's nice and neutral. It's a gentle stretch for your lower back. Imagine if you used to take yoga or still do, or Pilates. This is similar to doing a child's pose. And then in the child's pose, you'd move your arms to one side. We're just moving our arms to one foot, still keeping your back neutral, and then over to the other side. And I'm going to do a seated hip flexor. So I'm having my arm behind the chair holding on, one leg in front, 90 degrees, the other leg 90 degrees. But then I'm going to extend that one a little bit and still try to keep that hip tilted to the front so I get a stretch in my hip down into my quads. Or if you keep it in, you could tilt your hip even more, whichever one's more comfortable for you. And turn over to the other side. And now my favorite stretch, hands on the seat of the chair, feet right under your hips. Now push your hips away from your hands. I have to keep looking to make sure that I'm still on camera. And roll up, arms out to the side, bring them behind you. Gently move your head left to right. And arm circles. And switch direction. And before I go, I mentioned earlier that I wanted to find out, happy Labor Day. I wanted to find out what um, weights and bands and stuff you have at home and the size so that I could maybe advance the class a little bit and talk about getting stronger. I want to start doing some different things, maybe even a little work that is more specific to osteoporosis and osteopenia. Um, Nothing crazy. I never do anything crazy. So you could either next week send me a note while you're in class, and my Y email is J Campbell, as in Campbell Soup, at ymcanyc.org. That's J Campbell, Campbell, at ymcanyc.org. So have a wonderful weekend, guys, and I'll see you next week. Take care.